Hello everybody and welcome back to SVR 11 Universe. This is the Go Home Raw before the Royal Rumble. People over there, what's up? So it's R-Truth versus John Morrison in a Falls Count Anywhere match to kick things off. This match is a long time coming. It was a few weeks back in a one-on-one match between R-Truth and William Regal that John Morrison ran out and turned his back on William Regal. He then replaced R-Truth with some arm candy, as some people would say, in Melina. Not exactly my cup of tea, but I suppose it's helped win him some matches, which is probably more or less what that working relationship is all about. Last week on Raw, I believe it was last week, John Morrison injured Christian in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which I guess seems to be the type of match he's taken a shine to. R-Truth was potentially looking at a match this Thursday on ECW. Whether or not he'll still get that, I don't know. But he was looking to be a participant in the ECW Championship Battle Royal. I think actually he might have been in the one that has just been. So I might be wrong. He might not have ever been looking into competing for that again, because obviously I feel like you should only get one shot at the Battle Royal, otherwise everyone should get two. Yeah, R-Truth hasn't had an opportunity. And neither has John Morrison, though, who will probably also be in the upcoming ECW Championship Battle Royal, because although they are quite regular parts of Raw, they're not like focal points of it. We don't see them every single week. It's just at the moment they've obviously got a bit of a heated rivalry. And of course, speaking of Melina, as you all already know, there will be a Contenders match later on Raw to determine who will be facing Melina for the Divas Championship at the Royal Rumble. Whether it's Mickie James or Natalya, I think they're both quite happy to take her on because they've been grouping up against her since the debut. They've both been rooting for her to finally lose the championship that a lot of people would argue she never actually earned, because she didn't. She holds a victory in the Divas Championship in the record books, but only because she was the top-ranked woman coming into the match. She never actually won a match to prove that she deserves it. The only thing she's done is beat Natalya in a mixed tag match on Superstars. But this could be a big one for R-Truth, and obviously we're literally just away from the Royal Rumble, where I think we'll see both these two compete in that for an opportunity to become WWE or World Heavyweight Champion. Both could one day achieve it. I think they've got a long way to go before either of them is facing someone like Triple H, but they could. Of course, let's not forget, this is a Falls Count Anywhere match, so let's use that to the best of its advantage, shall we? That's quite clever. Just throw the chair in his face. I think the rules state that if R-Truth hits Melina at all, there's a DQ, but I don't know if that's true or not, because apparently Christian hit Melina with a sledgehammer last week and got off just fine, so I don't know. What I do know is that I'm sure Christian would very much be rooting for R-Truth in this one. So heading into the Royal Rumble that's coming up very soon, we're looking at a WWE Championship match between Triple H and Shawn Michaels, a United States Championship match between Sheamus and Kane, a Women's Championship match, Divas Championship match, sorry, between Melina and the winner of the Contenders match later on. We've got the Royal Rumble match, and from SmackDown so far we have the World Heavyweight title match between Randy Orton and The Big Show. We still have to find out what that sixth match is going to be, whether it's for the Women's Championship or the Intercontinental. I do believe that Crime Time should be getting a tag team title opportunity this next episode of SmackDown, if not on ECW. The point is they will be getting it very soon against Jeremy's, as they've been dubbed. R-Truth has been waiting to get his hands on John Morrison for a while, because obviously Morrison's the one that's really benefited from separating from R-Truth, who has got a, I believe, 1-6 record, or 1-5 or something like that. It's not looking good for Truth. That's why the ECW title is kind of a natural fit for something for him to pursue, is because that's what it's all about. It's about fixing people's careers. That's why it's a shame someone like Primo didn't actually get his opportunity. Admittedly, Yoshitatsu and Terry Funk, I think, have been pretty great picks so far. But this is all about justice for Truth.
Oh, did you see his neck snap back from that big boot?
Good old stun gun.
R-Truth doing a little dancing now.
Sure is.
Under the rules of a no disqualification match, the referee is powerless to stop this one.
That's a nice reversal.
He's got a chair, and he's checking under the apron for something that can aid him in his no disqualification match.
Nice Hurricane Runner on the chair. That could get the job done.
He's got him down for the pin. Turn around, ref.
Of course. I suppose this was to be expected. John Morrison, as I say, he's got his little bit of protection for him there, a little something special to sweeten up his matches, potentially earn him more victories than the guy deserves. And I got scissors kick. That should get the job done. But of course, lie detector. I think I know where this one's going. Yep. R-Truth has very much earned this victory. Melina's out. The Divas champion sent to the back. Truth could count to at least 20 by now, I feel. And he still gets the win. There you go. Justice served for R-Truth. I almost call him Ron Killings, and I'm not quite sure why. Just went to call him by his real name. I'm really not sure why that came to mind. There you go. It's his first ever singles win.
King, if that happens Sunday, we're going to have a new champion. Wow.
I mean, he's not in a title match, but sure, we'll have a new champion. If someone gets a win next Sunday, we might be looking at a win, but only if the right person gets a win will we see a new champ. I really ruined that sentence listening back to it. You know what? It doesn't matter. R-Truth, everybody. You gotta love him. Well, I said back when Sheamus earned a contendership that this could be a big week for him. Okay, and I stand by that statement. This could be a very, very big week for Sheamus as one half of the Celtic Cross and as the #1 contender for the United States Championship. Sheamus has got 2 championship opportunities this week. He starts the week off with one on Monday Night Raw, and then that following Sunday at the Royal Rumble, he competes for another championship. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus could be the next World Tag Team Champions. This is, I believe, the second title defense for the Hart Dynasty, having already held one title defense over Mark Henry and MVP. But now we got the Celtic Cross in tag team action. ready to maybe become the World Tag Team Champions, maybe get their careers that little extra bit off the ground. They haven't really suffered a lot of losses, and that's kind of what's brought them here. Admittedly, McIntyre, he's not really competed in much, but Sheamus, he's done some impressive stuff. He's won a handicap match, as a matter of fact. Sheamus has actually come out on top in a match against both Mark Henry and MVP. You know, the Hart Dynasty might hold a tag title defense over Mark Henry and MVP, but Sheamus has beaten both of them in the same match alone before he found McIntyre. So I think the best strategy that the Hart Dynasty are going to have, considering Sheamus didn't start the match, is to try and just cut the ring in two and keep Sheamus out of the ring. That is about the best I could possibly think that could happen for the Hart Dynasty. Drew McIntyre rocking that sweet Jetstar gear. Doesn't really match Sheamus for this one, but that's neither here nor there. And Natalya, obviously, she's got to pull double duty. She's competing in the next match against Mickie James, looking to make the Hart Dynasty a trifecta of champions.
I mean, when you start getting losses, all you want to do is get that win and start building momentum again. That's all there is to it. A suplex like that takes a lot of power.
Northern Lights suplex, always a nice move. Rocking those Pepsi colors today. Saria called the red and white attire that she made for the Hart Dynasty, she called that Coke. So I made this attire and just called it Pepsi. That was really all there was to it. I think I might have already said that in a video, but yeah. Just thought, red and white, I'll make a blue red and white, where blue is the primary color, obviously. And that will be Pepsi. You saw Drew McIntyre actually went to run to the corner there, and that's really all it takes, is the beginning of the end for the Hart Dynasty, is the absolute powerhouse Sheamus getting tagged in, which has happened now, and obviously this is really a mismatch in the ring right now between Tyson Kidd and Sheamus. That's really not someone I think little old Tyson Kidd is going to want to go up against. Sheamus, a guy who has literally been suggested as a potential for beating Kane, the new United States champion. This won't be the only tag team match you see on this episode of Raw, as we do have another tag team match coming up, the main event, which is DX teaming up for the first time on Raw. They're going to face off against Jack Swagger and whoever he can find to team with him. You know, Swagger hasn't exactly made any allies yet, while Shawn Michaels and Triple H have been in cahoots the entire time he's been facing them.
There's the clothesline. Ooh, that did it.
You notice that Tyson Kidd hasn't actually managed to take Sheamus off his feet yet. It's just such a size difference. David Hart Smith would be a very wise choice to tag in. Oh! Nice Irish curse. Okay. Interesting choice, but okay. McIntyre actually pretty much volunteered for David Hart Smith to come into the ring. A really strange turn of events there. I really thought that the Celtic Cross were going to come out with the win that simple. I thought that they were looking to pretty much put Tyson Kidd out in his own corner, but they actually created a complete and utter opening. Sheamus willingly didn't even go for the pin, he just willingly let Tyson Kidd recover. He tagged McIntyre in, and McIntyre just continued to stand there and let him cover right up the Irish Curse backbreaker, which could have very easily been the finish. Perhaps this was their strategy all along, though, was to wear out David Hart Smith, the bigger of the two, so that Sheamus could get a nice easy victory over the Hart Dynasty hot off a tag. Well, that didn't really work out in Smith's favor.
He finally gets out of the ring.
Nothing's really working out in Smith's favor right now, actually.
Hey, and that punch lands hard. You hear how his leg connected? What impact. Launching himself off the ropes.
It really does seem wise to try and keep Sheamus away from the two.
With the championship at stake, you know these superstars will give everything they have to win here tonight.
I mean, I hate to keep like repeating myself, but you can't deny, like, there's a guy that's ready for Kane. There's a guy that's actually like ready to face and take on Kane.
Oh, look at this. Oh, it doesn't get more punishing than that. There's the tag. And now he's back out on the apron.
Oh, there you go. There's a nice quick opening. There's a nice tag. This could be good. Oh no, that didn't go so well. Uh-oh, flatliner. Oh, this isn't good.
And there's a tag. Tag team championship at stake. Which team wants it more?
What on earth? Oh, dear God. A rebound brogue kick. Well, there you go. I mean, you really couldn't argue with that. That was perfect tag team chemistry. They kind of really proved themselves with that one. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I fully intended for the Hart Dynasty to win, but that tag combo was just too smooth. That was just too good. I couldn't argue with that result. The rope rebound for the bro kick as well, like Tyson Kidd just got decimated. New tag team champions on Raw. Wow. Okay, so things really didn't work out for this woman's tag team moments ago. Maybe they will for her, though. Maybe they will for her. If we're going to get any introduction at all. Oh! Okay. That's a little bit of a twist. These two are friends.
Well, King, I think it's safe to say that she's...
They were working together against Melina.
Yeah, I think that's safe.
Well, things have just gone from bad to worse for the Hart Dynasty, it's safe to say. Big old DDT. I really didn't have a chosen favorite between these two. It was just kind of whatever happened, happened. I've not had enough happen with the women on Raw or SmackDown to build up like who I'd prefer to have win. This is like the second match they've even had on Raw. And the first was between the two bottom ranked on Raw. So, like, whatever happens just kind of happens. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So, you know, we could see some vengeance for the Hart Dynasty, but a random attack like that, I think we might not be seeing a very good night for the Hart Dynasty. First, they lose the tag team titles in an absolutely dominated fashion. Like, they didn't stand a chance. I had full intentions of them having quite a long reign, too. And a roll-up. And I think we might have just already seen... No. Okay. Can never be too sure.
If you're just tuning in, Michael Cole, along with WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler, welcoming
I'll just take this match to just quickly adjust a few of my surroundings because I'm you know, whatever. Okay. Why not? And like spotting like styluses and stuff that aren't where they're supposed to be. So I'm just cleaning up the room. Nice big DDT. I mean, that's gotta be it, really. She knows she's won. She knows she's won so much. She's flaunting it, and she's not even going for the win. She knows she's won so much. Not enough to just beat Natalya. You gotta really hurt Natalya afterwards. You gotta solidify the knife that you just shoved right in her back. For no reason. On the night that they dropped the tag team titles. Screw the Hart Dynasty, apparently.
And Mickie gets dropped. This Diva reminds me of my last girlfriend. She was a redhead. No hair, just a redhead. And there's the monkey flip.
Sorry, I had a Discord message from Snazzy about this whole Tom McGee, Bret Hart thing, and he sent me over some gifs of Tom McGee, and wow, that's a bad wrestler. I know that's been a kind of a thing that I've been seeing pop up a lot with the wrestling fans. Is something about Tom McGee and Bret Hart, and I have no idea who this Tom McGee, I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. I have no idea who he is, so I asked Snazzy, and he was like, oh, he's bad, he's really bad, and then he showed me him doing like some chops in the corner, and yeah, pretty rough looking. You know, Mickie, you can go for the pin at any point here. You've hit your finisher on her twice. There you go. Just wanted some extra TV time, evidently. Well, I suppose the Divas Championship is just going to be a title surrounded in controversy and disrespect, because Melina won it in a very controversial fashion. Not even getting a pinfall, just being handed it on the time up. And Mickie James pretty much just cheated her way to the championship. She had jumped Natalya from behind, and then she just continued to beat on her for a little bit, and then win. So I have no idea what the future holds for the Hart Dynasty as a whole. They've really had a bad night. Let it be known, January... I forgot what date this would have been. Something. The night the Hart Dynasty fell apart. Alright, well, it's main event time. It's time for DX to finally make their debut. And it comes 6 days before they fight each other for the WWE Championship, of course. Much awaited debut. Finally happening. Oh! Well, I guess we don't have to wait to find out who Swagger's partner is. Well, Swagger was announced to have a tag team partner to face off against DX with, and I think we've already found out who it is. They even got matching gear. Could be the start of something big. Could go absolutely nowhere. You just never know. But I tell you what, this is a big opportunity for both Jack Swagger and William Regal. A much anticipated debut of a really big tag team. The WWE Champion and his best friend Shawn Michaels teaming up. Two of the top guys on Raw. Tell you what, Swagger aligning himself with Regal, that is honestly a really big opportunity for William Regal above all else. But if the shoe fits, could be the beginning of something really big for William Regal. There's just no telling what the future holds. Nothing if Michaels has anything to say about it. That's the thing, is DX are going to be an incredibly tough team. The jump shot at the start of the match or not, it's going to be really difficult for these two to actually like beat DX in DX's debut match. Triple H straight into the ring, and brass knuckles. That's one way to make sure Swagger and Regal maybe get the last laugh.
Without a doubt, there's a big fight feel here in the arena.
Wait, what?
Oh,
And you
mama.
have the oh, okay, just a big running knee. Well, that's one way to secure yourself a potential victory. It's a shame about the rope break.
And he finally gets out of the ring.
They've definitely taken a few shortcuts, so if they do defeat DX in this one,
Has the headlock.
it's kind of tainted victory, I'd say. You've had brass knuckles, you've had a jump shot before the match. It would be a little bit tainted, admittedly, but very interesting choice.
Regal. What's gonna happen here?
An all-American American
You have to wonder.
and an incredibly British Brit.
And the ref starts to count. And now he's back out on the apron.
And here comes a face-off with a lot of history within this series. We've seen Swagger defeat Triple H. We've seen Triple H defeat Swagger. We've seen Michaels defeat Swagger. We've seen Michaels defeat Swagger and Triple H. The whole shebang.
Triple H, the
We've seen it.
ring general. He's so good at knowing how to control a match. Ouch. Oh man, that knee looked painful. He's putting
Not like it didn't connect very good either. I suppose that's why it looked painful.
suplex. We got a cover.
This would be massive for Swagger to beat Triple H or Shawn Michaels
And he finally gets
just
out of the ring.
6 days before they face off for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble.
The ref gets absolutely flat. Jack Swagger. Watch it. That was like a freight train.
Obviously, this makes a lot of sense coming from Swagger.
Isn't a no disqualification match.
Referee is already up, so Swagger very quick to put that chair back down. Probably shouldn't have thrown it in the referee's face, but he didn't know who actually threw it. He never saw.
And there's the amateur background of the former two-time All-American. Uh-oh.
Well, that ain't gonna look good for Swagger or Regal. They ain't gonna do them any favors.
And he's in there trying to get something going for his
Admittedly, Michaels had not done nearly enough work to get the job done with a single sweet chin music. Swagger's been so determined to become WWE champion. It's just a machine.
finally gets out of the ring.
Tell you what, though, Swagger might want to look into tagging out.
Oh man, the rope fired him in there. The injury to Shawn Michaels' back has been well documented, and that back has been heavily targeted in this.
I'm not really surprised that this match has mostly been Swagger. I mean, the thing about him and Regal is that he may have just picked Regal because he had to find a tag team partner. This may not be an alliance that actually goes anywhere,
An NCAA record with 30.
though they do seem to get along incredibly well, so who's to say?
Give me a break. There's no need for that. Michaels with the arm. He may be intent on breaking the arm. And here comes his partner.
Well, this ain't good for Swagger or Regal. Oh, this could be it. No,
Counters out. Triple H.
that is most certainly not it.
It might be time to run. And now he's back.
But this one could be.
And he fights
And
out.
again.
The game was
Oh,
for the pedigree. Oh, look out.
making sure
I think
that pedigree doesn't connect, because that will be game over, lights out
shown by the game.
for Swagger.
The game. Controlling the head. Swagger.
Now this could be big.
Gut wrench.
Gut wrench powerbomb on the game, pinfall, and there you go.
Jack Swagger with
Just what I was hoping for. I wasn't counting on the run-in, but once again, Swagger thwarts Triple H and Shawn Michaels despite not being the contender for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble, and Michaels and Triple H suffer a loss just 6 days before they face each other. Maybe they're better off as opponents than they are friends. Maybe that's the lesson that's to be learnt here. On the other hand, McIntyre and Sheamus may have just won the tag team titles, but this would make for a pretty massive opposing team if they can't get their hands on any bigger gold. What a win. What a well-deserved win. Swagger and Regal. A team you never thought you'd see. A team you'd probably never considered getting the main event win on Raw. You know what? Yes. Yes, they will become a team. In the comments below, drop me your favorite name for them. Jack Swagger, William Regal. What do you call a combination like that? You got an incredibly British Patriot. You got an incredibly American Patriot. Hard to say. R-Truth and John Morrison's relationship has gotten even worse, which makes sense. They beat the hell out of each other. McIntyre and Sheamus' friendship has gotten even stronger, which makes sense. They won the tag titles. Mickie James most certainly did turn her back on the fans, and no one does know why, and their relationship definitely did get worse. Michael and Triple H's friendship got stronger despite losing, and Swagger and Regal are now allies and a tag team. So be sure to drop a tag team name for them down below. I'd love to see what you guys can come up with for such an unusual combination. But there you go, Mickie James overtaking Natalya as the new number one contender for the Divas Championship. On the US title front, David Hart Smith has dropped from 8 to 10 after dropping the tag team titles, whilst R-Truth, who beat John Morrison, has boosted to number 8, and of course Swagger, with a massive main event win, goes up to number 9 from previously unranked number 14. Not unranked in the sense of not ranked, but unranked in the sense of not uncharted would probably be the right term. And then in terms of the WWE title, Swagger has potentially just earned his way into the WWE title match. We might be looking at a triple threat at the Royal Rumble now, who's to say? But he has overtaken Shawn Michaels in the top 10, and Zack Ryder has found his way under the top 10 again, because whoever was number 10, they took a loss and they fell out. I don't know who that would have been, to be honest. I'm going to guess maybe Morrison or one of the Hart Dynasty, because it definitely wasn't Michaels or Triple H, and Regal or Swagger wouldn't drop for winning. Anyway, coming up on ECW, that won't be happening. That definitely won't be happening. And that won't be happening. So see me in the future as we look towards the final episode of ECW before the Royal Rumble, which will feature 2 Battle Royals to determine who will join Yoshitatsu and Terry Funk in the ECW title match. And maybe as a preview for the ECW title match, we'll see Yoshitatsu versus Terry Funk. But I'm not sure about that one, so no promises. See you guys later, bye.